Hi Not Board Gamers, and welcome back to Not Board Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark. Now today's video is going to be an unboxing video. And what am I unboxing? Well, as you can see in front of me, it's a game that's been a bit of a obsession with a lot of people for the last 12 months or so, and that game is, of course, Obsessing, designed by Dan Halligan, published by Kayenta Games. Now, this game really kind of rocketed in the last 12 months. It took off and you've not been able to get hold of copies for a wee while now, but I managed to get hold of everything for it this week. I think it's the second edition printing that I got as well. So I thought what I would do, whilst people are still obsessing over Obsession, is show you exactly what you get in everything that you get for Obsession. So I've got the base game, I've got the upstairs downstairs expansion, I've got the useful box, I've got the Wessex expansion, and I've also got the promo tiles as well. Obviously, Obsession is this kind of Downton Abbey-esque game, I suppose, which of course people are very much interested in, and it's set in Derbyshire. I live in Sheffield, and there's a big stately home in Derbyshire called Chatsworth House, which looks a lot like this house on the front here. So I'm really only about a 20-minute drive away from where the game is set. So it's kind of irked me a little bit this year that I've got this game which is set in the area where I live, and I've not been able to get hold of it. But fortunately, it's starting to come back into stock now, so I thought I'd show you everything that you get in all the boxes for everything that's currently available for Obsession, designed by Dan Halligan and published by Kayenta Games. Okay, so here we can see everything for Obsession. There is the base game, there's the upstairs downstairs expansion, there's the Obsession promotional tiles, there's a Wessex expansion, and there's the useful box as well. So what we'll do, we'll start with the main box, of course. So let's just move those out of the way. And here we have the main box for Obsession. So Pride, Intrigue and Prejudice in Victorian England, a Dan Halligan board game. And as I say, there's something there very reminiscent of Chatsworth House, which is not too far away from where I live. So it says here, changes are afoot in Derbyshire, England, where four families, all possessed of eligible young gentlemen and ladies, find themselves embroiled in romance and intrigue during a time of optimism. So yes, it tells you kind of, a little bit of backstory there. It doesn't tell you about what the game is or how it plays. Shows you a little bit of the game there. So let's have a look. Let's get the knife out and cut into that cellophane. Ooh, there we go. And take that cellophane off, which will reduce the glare. And you can see down here at the bottom, it says for 1 to 4 players, 30 to 90 minutes, and also from ages 14 upwards as well. So here we go. Ooh, new hybrid bonus title. So as I say, I think this is the second edition that I've got. So take the box lid off, and there we go. You can see the artwork on the box lid. And the first up is we have the rule book. So how thick is the rule book? The rule book is it's only 16 pages long, and it's obviously thematically very timely. It's got this kind of sepia look on it with the patterned wallpaper, if you like, behind it. Obsession rule book. Some nice pictograms, everything you get inside there. So the supply board, the round tracks, the various meeples, there's a tile drawer bag, various sets of cards, etc. A player setup area. So again, look at that, a nice big picture there as well, which shows you how the game is set up. I always like it when they show you how a game's set up in rulebook. So the rulebook looks relatively straightforward and pretty easy to follow as well. You have a good time reading that at some point over the Christmas break. And there we go, there's also the details for the solo mode there. And apparently it's a very good solo mode, so I'm looking forward to diving into that. And it tells you all about the end game scoring as well, which I will obviously do terribly in. And then there we go, thematic background of favours at the back there. So just a little bit of kind of flavour text about, oh no, it's not, timing of favours, what is an activity, and the timing of favours, and a little bit about some of the cards in the game as well, and a little FAQ there. Then we have a glossary, that's good. So there's a glossary outside of the rule book, and that's always really good for obviously referencing when you kind of know the game, but you don't know too much about the game. Wow, okay. Well, first of all, there's a little notepad there, which is obviously a scoring pad. It says Obsession on it. And then you've got these beautiful looking boxes here. I mean, look at these. This is truly stunning to look at. It's really, really well made, well presented. The Cavendish box there, there's nothing in it. So you've got Cavendish, you've got the Wessex, you have the House of Asquith, you have the Howard box, you have the Ponsonby box, and you have the House of York as well there. And you've got these other two larger boxes here. I don't know what you put in there. These are obviously for storage of some sort, but really, really nicely presented with some nice print on there also. So, outside of those boxes, let's just move those up there. We've then got the, which I think this is the round tracker or the scoring tracker, if you like, yeah. The round tracker, that's that, and that's double-sided. And I don't know if that's for, if it's any different. Oh yeah, there's a shorter side there, and then there's a slightly longer side there. So I don't know if that's for different player counts. Doesn't say on there. It'll obviously be in the rules somewhere about which side of the board you want to use. But again, beautiful picture of a nice stately home on the front there. What else do we have? We have these things, which are country estate improvements. So there's 4 of those for the players in the game, and I should imagine you're going to put cards on there: essentials, service, estate, prestige, and sporting as well. Yeah, again, nice thick card stock on that. What do we have here? We have, these must be the individual player boards. So we have one for the Ponsonbys, for the York, for the Asquiths, and for the Cavendishes as well. And I don't know if they are asymmetrical. It doesn't look to be asymmetrical. Oh yeah, they've got different family bonuses on there. So this down here, this is a different family bonus, but everything else looks to be exactly the same, I believe. Yep. So they all have slightly different family bonuses. Then we have the player board itself. Sorry, the game board itself. And there we go. That's just that, and that's obviously where you're going to place cards on there. So guests, servants for hire, objective cards, the builder's market starting from 300 going up to 800, and the builder's market reserve over here. Beautiful, beautiful picture of the Derbyshire countryside there. And if you get out to the Peak District over here, it really does look like that. It's absolutely stunning. We have various packs of cards then. So we've got these tiny, these smaller kind of objective cards here. Servant bonus, 5 victory points if you've got potentially 2 valets and 2 ladies maids required. All right, so you need to achieve certain objectives here to get the extra victory points with that. We've got some even tinier cards. These have got VPs on the back. See, Fairchild on there. I mean, these are, if you look at a standard size deck, they're about, I don't know, about a third of the size of a standard size deck. Really tiny cards. I don't want to take the cellophane off that yet until I'm going to be using the game. Then we have 2 decks of cards here. So we have these cards which say Obsession. So let's take the wrapper off this and look at this card stock on here. And again, the artwork looks really, really nice on these. Kind of gives you that, evokes that image, if you like, of it evokes that sentiment, shall I say, of stately homes, etc. Reasonable card stock, although a little bit thin, I must admit. Top one's just bent, so I've taken it off there. Here we go. We have William, Lord Mortimer. Mortimer is known for hosting the finest hunts in the area and takes every opportunity to ride to hounds. Okay, and we've got quite a few of these bearded people and, well, bearded gentlemen and very austere looking ladies as well. And look at the photo. I mean, you know, they're obviously, I don't know where the photography's come from, but it really does again evoke that time, that whole upstairs, downstairs, if you're of a certain age, or Downton Abbey type look of it. There are more cards here, so let's just have a quick look at this deck of cards. Looks like these are some of the same, and then maybe some slightly different ones. I should imagine there's going to be some player aids in here and player references. So we have some more of these character cards here, the Obsession cards. We've got, okay, so these look like maybe solo cards. Let's have a look. They could well be the solo cards. Yep, they do say solitaire on the back. Beautiful, beautiful scripted writing there. So I don't know how that works there. And then some player aids there, number of player aids for each player. So that's good. And the cardstock, as I say, it's okay. Ideally would have liked it to be a little bit thicker, I think. May well be, depending on how much gameplay it gets, a game worth sleeving. Then we have some punch boards here. Now, first thing I always like to do is look at the thickness on this. And that's a reasonable punch board there. Yeah, they're quite thick, maybe 3 mil thick, maybe 2 mil thick. So these are some tiles there. We got bowling green, riding stables, croquet lawn, billiards room, some numbers there, some coins there. Here we go. Some purple ones, again with some coins and some numbers at the bottom. Some blue ones there, and the brown and the green down there. Barn, butler's pantry. Private study. And some salmon looking ones as well. As I say, they're all of a fairly good cardstock. So that's what you get in the base game. Now, I'm pretty impressed with all of that. I think, as I say, the only thing potentially would like to see something different with is the cardstock. Of course, tucked away in one of the boxes. I knew there was more to look at. We have, first of all, looks like a 20-sided die, a D20, a nice kind of royal purple die. We have a number of meeples and counters in there, yeah. So red, purple, red, black, green and white. Probably easiest to show you the white ones there. Pointless getting those out at this stage. There's a pawn, some meeples and some counters. And then we have a lovely and luxurious royal purple Obsession bag there. Prince would be proud of that colour. That looks great. And that all came in one of these boxes as well. So I say some of the stuff I'm really, really happy with. I think the overall quality from what I can see so far looks pretty great. I think my only potential downside is going to be the thickness on some of those cards. But you know what? I suppose as long as you're careful with the game, it doesn't matter too much. So these are the player boards that go back in there. We've got 4 of those as well. We have the scoring track, and then the boards are going to go on top of here, so that's going to go back. I should imagine these are for storage, but I'm just going to put the cards in here for now, because obviously I separated the cards there. Let's do that. That's going to go back in there. Put them right. Put those little packs of cards up there, and then get these things in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and it all looks really high quality as well. I think, you know, obviously a lot of work has gone into kind of designing a game which thematically looks like it should do. Oh, there we go. I think that says 2.1 second edition there. So that's the base game. Let's move on to the upstairs downstairs expansion. So I have no idea what any of this does. Obviously I had some new boards in there and some various other stuff as well. So yeah, let's have a look at this. I don't know if there's a way, maybe there is, to get everything into the main box. That would be an ideal situation for me if everything could fit in the main box. So upstairs, downstairs, an Obsession expansion, 2-player. So that's one for me and the wife. Again, another little bag there, another scoring thing, plastic bags, more meeples, hey. And we have some Obsession promotional cards. So these, I wonder if these are the promotional cards. Got some unique rules on there for people like Jane Booth and Lady Isabel Hawthorne. And who's this lady here? Somebody or other. Yeah, so maybe they are the promotional cards there. Some more of these cards which say Fairchild Essentials on them. Okay, nice. Some more of these cards, again with some player aids in there as well, and some more of the objective cards. Then we have the expansion rulebook, which is almost as thick as the main rulebook. 14, 15, 16, yeah, it's 16 pages. Slightly smaller than the main rulebook, but that's for the expansion there. And there we go, we've got the Solo Estate Challenge, so the solo rules are at the back. Again, really well laid out, lots to read. I'm not saying, I don't know if it's a difficult game to learn, but I'm looking forward to learning it. And with the Howards there, so we've got the player board for the Howards and their country estate improvements. We have an additional Builders Market Reserve there, so I don't know why we use that. And we have the Adderley Hall track marker. This is almost again, two sides on that. And then a number of punch boards. So that is obviously going to add a different element of gameplay into it. But that's a fairly decent amount for an expansion that you get in there. There's obviously, doesn't look like something that could have gone in the base box. Sometimes with expansions, you kind of think, oh, well, why didn't put that in with the base game? But this looks like it adds quite a lot to it, and therefore probably deserves to be a full-priced expansion. So that is the upstairs, downstairs expansion for Obsession. Right, what next? Oh, okay. Let's have a look at the Wessex expansion. This is a smaller one. Deluxe second printing, includes two new improvement tiles, morning room and retiring room, and requires the Obsession base game. There we go. There's the contents we get on there. So it looks like a little bit more of the same. There's going to be a player board, and there's going to be some tiles in there, and possibly some cards as well. So let's have a look. Oh, it's always exciting ripping into a new box. I absolutely love it. When they arrive, it's almost a test of wills that I don't kind of open them up straight away, work, family, whatever, just getting the timing right to break into a new box. But I love opening brand new board games. Whether I enjoy playing them is slightly different, of course, depends on the game itself. There's a whole new set of solitaire cards there. Okay, and it looks like some Obsession cards there again with some characters on. We have, a relatively straightforward set of rules there. It's literally one sheet, so it looks like a mini expansion. Maybe this could have been put in with a game, who knows? Obviously it drives price up though, so it's probably right to release it as a separate expansion. And there we have the player board for the Wessexes. So that is the Wessex expansion. I can't remember what that was. I think that was around about 20 quid for this particular expansion. I think the big one was about £40. The base game, I can't remember, maybe £60, something like that. Then we have the useful box. So this useful box has got various bits in there, and I don't know whether I needed all this for with getting the second edition, but I've got a feeling you do. So it's got the some tiles, some corrected stuff in there, some new stuff. So you definitely do need it. And basically, it's nicely called a useful box. And I think, and I could be wrong, but if you back this on Kickstarter, I think Dan ended up kind of sending this to you free of charge, basically, if you back the game on Kickstarter, which I think is a really, really good thing for them to do. So it obviously corrects some stuff in the game and provides some new stuff as well. Problem with these narrow boxes is getting into them. One sec. There we go. Oh, more bags. So we have an upstairs, downstairs bag. We have another beautiful royal purple kind of Obsession bag as well. We have a purple, an orange meeple carrying what looks like a wooden spoon, so some kind of baker or cook there. There's a whole new set of cards, including dynamic solitaire cards in there as well. What else have we got? We've got the instruction booklet on how to incorporate this into your game of Obsession, what's been corrected, what's new, what's included in there. I think, again, just sending this out to backers was really good, and some corrected excuse me, some corrected tiles there. So that's what you get in the useful box, which is really good. Again, no idea how any of that plays at this stage. And then the final thing I got, some promotional tiles that were available. So I don't know. The upstairs, downstairs Kickstarter in fall of 2019 featured a stretch goal, which backers of the project would get to design 2 promotional improvement tiles. And once the stretch goal was reached, backers laboured mightily, generating 20 outstanding design ideas. The top 2, the parish church and the babbling brook, were added to upstairs, downstairs game box. That's okay. But the remaining 18 tiles have now been here. So this is what backers did. This is brilliant, this. I think this kind of just goes to show how much respect Dan Halligan and Kayenta have got for the backers of their product, because people designed what sounds like some great new tiles for the game. And rather than kind of saying, well, these 2 have won, you don't get the rest, what they've done is they've actually released them as promotional tiles, and there we go. You've got unique rules for promotional tiles. And I think that's really, really good and really, really sweet of them to do that as well. So it feels like no ideas are being left on the table for Obsession. If it works, and if the backers have come up with a good idea, then they've released the stuff for it as well. So that's the promotional tiles. That's the useful box. That's a Wessex expansion. That's the upstairs, downstairs expansion. And that's the main game of Obsession. I'm looking forward to playing this. I've not got much time over the Christmas period. I'm going away on holiday. But I think when I come back from holiday, I've got about 4 days before I go back to work in early January. So I think I'm going to get this to the table at some point in the new year and find out if it's as good as everybody says it is, because people absolutely rave about Obsession.